6-9. Verdict, count 1, sexual battery. We, the jury, impaneled and sworn in the above entitled cause, do upon our oaths find as follows. Defendant is guilty of the crime of sexual battery and set punishment at 8 years. Count 2, procuring lewd exhibition. Not guilty of procuring lewd exhibition. Count 3, burglary in the first degree, no included. Lewd exhibition. Defendant is guilty of the crime of procuring lewd exhibition and punishment is set at 5 years. Guilty of exhibition and punishment is set at 5 years. Count 6, guilty of the crime of stalking. Count 7, defendant is not guilty of battery. Count 8, defendant is guilty of the crime of forcible oral sodomy and punishment of 20 years.
So that's how this so-called white man is. It's like getting into the spirit of the so-called devil, especially the devil Daniel. I'm telling you, if he would have touched one of the Isupk date.
I gotta walk. I pray the devil every evil thing the Lord got to give. And listen, I know, look at us in the state we in right now. Come here, child. Come here, child. Come here, child. I know you look at us in the state we in right now. Black people on drugs, and we suffering and dying. I know it seems like do whatever you want to this. Time for glorifying yourself is soon at an end.
And once he did the arrest, I was took into a house on the whole side of town, which I didn't think of it at the time. And once I got there, they took off my clothes and handcuffed me to the bed and took me to a room.
Shalom, Israel. This is Priest and Officer Ayah Water, the Universal Practical Knowledge, Oklahoma City. We're going to talk about rape and the spirit of the so-called white man, like the police officer David Holtzclaw out here in Oklahoma City, went around on his chair, probably even raping males because the female only one that came out with it. Okay, just imagine how to feel who got raped by this so-called Edomite. Okay, but before we get into this topic, I want to let you guys know, always, you can check out Commander General Yohana. That's Commander General Yohana every Monday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on the Grill Radio, Last of the Angry Black Men with Commander General Yohana. Answer questions and your comments every Monday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And every Tuesday through Saturday, you can check out our free online classes. Yeah, free online classes from Mondays to Saturday, going over every different topic every day of the week. So let's get up into this right now, what we're about to do, the topic at hand. We're going to talk about this devil, Holtzclaw. Okay? With that being said, Deuteronomy chapter 22, we're going to start at verse 25 to get some on this. Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. Okay, so this so-called Edomite found 10 sisters, and he put his hands on and laid down and raped them. Okay, they couldn't had husbands, you know, they could have been somebody, but this devil didn't care. He just took them and raped them. Okay, and that's the so-called spirit on this white man. Thing is theirs. Okay? But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man forced her, like the so-called Edomite, he forced them to act with him. He did anything that you can imagine with these sisters, okay? Somebody mother, somebody wife, okay? From the oldest to the youngest, he forced them to have sexual intercourse with them, okay? So let's get some more on this. And lie with her, then the man only that lie with her, lay with her, shall die. Okay, so this devil supposed to receive death for the crimes he committed against the sisters of the children of Israel. Okay, so we're going to get some more on this. So from here, let's go to the Apocrypha, the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, and we're going to start at verse 6. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 6 says, "Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in our youth." Okay, this is saying like, come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things, you know, because the white man, they don't believe in reincarnation. They don't believe in payment. Okay, they believe live for today, die tomorrow. Okay, so when it's talking about speedily, use the creatures like as in our youth, like when you was young and you got your first car and your license and you didn't obey the speed limit. You took off carefree, living your life carefree, living for the moment. Okay, and that's how the so-called white man live. He lives for the moment. Okay, so we're going to get some more on this. Drop down to verse 7. "Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us." Okay, so like the so-called devil saying, that's in the minds of the so-called devils, we're going to drink all the good stuff. When it say, let us fill ourselves with costly wine, we're going to drink the expensive stuff. We're going to live lavishly, okay, in ointments. "And let no flower of the spring pass us by." Like you go past a spring with flowers, you pick one flower up and smell it, then you throw it away, and then you wreck the whole field. That's the so-called white man living careless, okay? Like everything belongs to them. Like going through a grapevine and picking one grape and biting it and throw it down and then just destroy the rest of the vine, the grape vineyard, okay? So that's how this so-called white man is. It's like the spirit. It's getting into the spirit of the so-called devils, and especially the devil Daniel Holtzclaw. I'm telling you, if he would have touched one of the sisters in the Isupk, man, he wouldn't have made it to no court date, because we protect our sisters. Okay, sisters, you come to the Isupk for protection. We the priests and prophets of the Most High and Christ. Okay? We're not like the Christian church. We protect our sisters, our women. Okay? So we're going to drop down to verse 8. "Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be wilted." Like again, let's live for the day. For tomorrow might not come to them. That's how they feel. They want to get everything done in today and destroy everything while they're here and have no consequences for their actions. That's the so-called white man. So we're going to drop down to verse 9. "Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuous. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. For this is our portion, and our lot is this." Okay, so like a voluptuous woman with big, you know how they is. Okay, and they want to leave their tokens of their joyfulness around, like the serial rapist Daniel Holtzclaw. You know, like the serial rapist leaves a clue. Every time he does something, he leaves a clue. Okay, he leaves something behind. Just like the so-called white man stole the whole earth, all the land of earth, and named it after themselves. America Vasco, Africa, Leonardo Africanus, and so on and so on. They name cities after themselves to let you know that they've been here. And they leave toast to let you know that they've been here. Well, that devil Daniel Holtzclaw left semen all in around those sisters that he raped. He left this token.
On the night that I was stopped, I didn't expect for none of that to happen. And when he approached the car, I mean, I didn't know what was gonna happen next, cause me and some others was just sitting in the car, and they just came and approached the car, and it went from there. And once he did the arrest, I was taken to a hospital on the whole opposite side of town, which I didn't think nothing of it at the time. And once I got there, they took off my clothes and handcuffed me to the bed and took me to a room, and no nurses, nobody came to check on me. And surely he just started to manipulate me. And
take your time.
Me being in a room with the police, not expecting to get violated the way I did, the way I was done, I just couldn't even believe it. I was speechless. I was scared. When everything was going down, I felt I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I felt like I was in survival mode, so I had to do what he was making me do. So
That's fine. Thank you. We
Damn devil. Okay. Verse 10, let us oppress the poor, righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Okay, like I said, this devil, he raped young women to old women. When he couldn't find young women, he raped the age, gray hair, old women.
First, I'd like to say good morning, everybody, and give all the praise to God. I just thank God that I could stand here today and talk and say this. I was violated in June by a police officer. Stopped me on 5th and Lincoln for no reason whatsoever, pulled me over and fondled me and did certain things to me. I was out there alone and helpless, didn't know what to do. And in my mind, all I could think that he was going to shoot me. He was going to kill me. He did things to me that I didn't think a police officer would do. He made me perform all of sodomy sex on him. I didn't know what to do. I was so afraid. I was afraid for my life. I kept begging him, sir, please don't make me do this. Don't make me do this, sir. Please, you're going to shoot me. He said, I'm not going to shoot you. I said, yeah, you're going to shoot me. The only thing I could see was my life flash before my eyes and the gun in his holster on his right side. And as I tried to look up at his name, I was afraid to, because I said, if I know his name, I know he's going to kill me. So that I didn't do. So he did so many things to me, and I was so afraid, and I was out there, like I say, so helpless. God's will, he let me live. And he let me live to tell this story like a lot of victims are not able to do. And I thank God above for letting me do that. All I can say is I was a victim. I was traumatized. I went to therapy. I had a stroke behind this. And I still live with this day after day.
Okay, like this devil feel like they're old, like everything is theirs. The spirit of the devils feel like they own everything. Like this is old to him. Like he see the sisters twerking in the videos, dancing, so he feel like he could just have them. Any sister, the aged sister or the old sister or the young sister. And when it said, let us oppress the poor, righteous man, you know, the sisters had husbands, they had brothers. Imagine your family coming home being raped by the so-called police, and you see him patrolling the beat every day, but you can't do nothing to him because he's a police. And if you do something to him, they'll take your life out here in these streets. They'll lock you up behind bars. Okay, so that's being oppressed, seeing something done to your family member and you can't do a damn thing about it. This devil raped 13 sisters. And you know they had family. And you know they had husbands and brothers and fathers that couldn't do nothing about this so-called policeman riding around doing God knows what to these sisters. And he could have did it to the brothers. You know ain't no brother gonna come forward saying he been raped, so ain't no telling what this devil did. You gotta go past, you gotta look at the whole concept of Esau. This was a wild man hiding behind a punk-ass badge and a gun.
Count 8. Defendant is guilty of the crime of forcible oral sodomy and punishment is set at 20 years. Count 10. Forcible oral sodomy. Defendant is guilty of the crime of forcible oral sodomy and punishment is set at 16 years. Count 11. Rape in the first degree. Defendant is guilty of the crime of rape in the first degree and punishment is set at 30 years.
When everything was going down, I felt I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I felt like I was in survival mode, so I had to do what he was making me do. So
That's fine. That's fine. Thank you.
Count 15, procuring lewd exhibition. Defendant is guilty of the crime of procuring lewd exhibition and punishment is set at 5 years. Count 16, forcible oral sodomy. Defendant is guilty of the crime of forcible oral sodomy and punishment is set at 16 years.
And he could have did it to the brothers. You know ain't no brother gonna come forward saying he been raped, so ain't no telling what this devil did. You gotta go past, you gotta look at the whole concept of Esau. This was a wild man hiding behind a punk-ass badge and a gun. Okay, so we're gonna get some more of this. Let's go to verse 11. Let our strength be in the law of justice. It speaks for itself. I'm a cop, so I can do this. I can rape you. I can force you to do anything to me. Okay? Let's get some more. Let our strength be in the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. That is feeble is found to be nothing worth. Their justice is their law. Okay, when the sister get raped, who she gonna call? She gonna call the cops. But what happens when the cop is the one that's doing it to you? Who you gonna call?
me being in a room with the police, not expecting to get violated the way I did, the way I was done. I just couldn't even believe it. I was speechless. I was scared.
Man, it's deep out here. This devil, Daniel Holtzclaw, went around doing all kinds of stuff to these sisters. So who was they gonna call? Thinking if they call the police on another police, happen to them. Okay, nothing. Get brushed under the rug or get tortured by another cop. Okay, we got to wake up and come back to the Most High. Okay, and this devil got to get justice for what he did. Okay, like I said, if it was been one of the sisters of the Isupk, he wouldn't have made it to his court date. He wouldn't have made it through no trial because we protect ours. We protect our sisters up in this school. And with that, I'm going to say shalom, Israel.
Let me ask the jury, is this your verdict, so say you all? Yes. Counsel, would you like to examine the verdict forms?
Not to say no. No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Holtzclaw, if you and your attorneys just come forward. Mr. Holtzclaw, this jury finds you guilty of the various counts. You will be remanded to the custody of the Oklahoma County Sheriff for formal sentencing set January 21st, 2016 at 10 o'clock a.m.
Your Honor, I ask to poll the jury.
All right, you have a seat.